Welcome back, everybody, to SY Sports. I'll be finishing up the rest of my Week 2 picks. I know I only had one because there's only one top 25 team playing tonight, or, yeah, later tonight. Yeah, it's already Friday, damn. Um, I did take Kansas in the points. However, I did not take the money line because personally, I thought the odds were bad. But I'm just going to show you, even if the odds are off, I'm going to show you who I would have taken anyways. Now, yes, I said I would have taken Kansas. However, because I would have only taken Kansas because of the odds. But honestly, I would have taken Coastal Carolina. Now, I don't know what's going on. The game hasn't started yet by the time I'm recording this. So I'm not changing the fact that I said I would have taken Kansas. But the only reason I was going to take Kansas on the money line was because of the odds. But in all honesty, I would have taken Coastal Carolina if the odds were way, way down. I just know that Coastal's probably a bit, not probably, I know they're a better team, but it is Group of 5 against Power 5, and that's why I took Kansas in the points. Now, we can get over that stupid thing, and we can get to the rest of the picks. So let's start it off. Oregon versus Ohio State. It's in the shoe. Thibodeau is in a boot. I'm not 100% sure if he's actually playing or not, but obviously to me he won't be 100%, and that's a big key factor for Oregon. Oregon struggled last week. Ohio State, quote unquote, struggled, but I think Minnesota is a good team, and I just think with this game being in the shoe, that's an automatic touchdown. And I think you're gonna cover and obviously win on the money line. It's so no matter who Ohio State plays, unless it's no matter who Ohio State plays, it would be stupid to bet against them at this point in college football. They cover 90% of the spread since I think like Jim Tressel's been around, or maybe it was Urban Meyer, but don't bet against Ohio State. It's the stupidest thing in the world to do until I'm proven otherwise. Next is Alabama State at Auburn. I'm taking Alabama State in the points. I know it's a small school, Alabama State and Auburn, SEC, whatever, but to win by 50 points against anybody is a hard feat, and it's very hard for me to bet against that. Anything like over 4 touchdowns, I'm kind of like on it. I am, however, taking Auburn in the money line, but with the fact that the spread's 49 points, maybe Auburn wins by 50, but the odds of that happening, like Alabama State scoring a late touchdown or Auburn just running the clock out in the second half, like to win by 50 points against anybody, it's such a hard feat. So Alabama State plus 49, but Auburn in the money line. Next is Florida Florida at South Florida. I think South Florida is a god awful team, maybe one of the worst in the Group of 5. Florida blew out Florida Atlantic, which I think Florida Atlantic's one of the better Group of 5 teams. I know this game's on the road. Their quarterback situation is but I think they can cover 28.5 with it being on the road, and obviously that's a money line cover. I think Florida's going to be all right this year, and they're playing against, like I said, one of the worst Group of 5 teams to me. And I don't know. Something about this that I just see them covering. Like I said, I know it's over 4 touchdowns, but I just don't trust South Florida right now. Next is Middle Tennessee at Virginia Tech. Now I know Virginia Tech beat North Carolina last week. North Carolina top quote unquote top 10 team. I was very high on North Carolina. North Carolina looked god awful, and Virginia Tech should have honestly blew them out, but they didn't. They only won by a touchdown. They kept North Carolina in the game. Now they did win the game, but like I said, they should have blew them out. So I'm actually going to take Middle Tennessee in the cover, but I will take Virginia Tech in the money line. I don't know, something about this game. I still don't trust Virginia Tech and Justin Fuente. I still don't trust him as a coach. I think they're going to be coming off a super high beating a North Carolina team that now looks like they may win 8 games. I know it's in Blacksburg, but I don't know. Something about this game, I just do not see them covering 20 points. Next is Toledo at Notre Dame. It's in South Bend. Notre Dame's offense looks great. Their defense looks okay, but who knows? Maybe Florida State's better than everybody thinks. Toledo, one of the better teams in the MAC, if not the best team. But with this game being in South Bend and Notre Dame seeming like they can score points right now, I think Notre Dame covers and obviously wins the money line. Cover 17 points, excuse me. Next is UAB at Georgia. I know JT Daniels is out. However, Georgia's defense is the best of the best, if not the best, which to me, I think they are the best. UAB is a good group of 5 team. However, even with the backup quarterback, I still think Georgia covers 22.5 points and obviously the money line. I just don't know if UAB is going to be able to score. I could see this game, even if they do score, I can see this game probably being 35-7, 42-7. I just think Georgia's going to run it. They're going to throw around a little bit. 22.5 is a lot, but Georgia's talent should just be able to cover 30 points, I think. Anyways, minus 22.5 and the money line. Next is Texas A&M at Colorado. This game conflicted me for a while, actually. But I just do not trust Colorado, and I'm going to take Texas A&M in the points, minus 17, and the money line, obviously. I know Texas A&M's quarterback didn't look too hot. However, he's still very young, and I know he's going on the road, but I think Colorado was very overrated after their season last year, and their defense just, to me, looks god-awful, and I don't know if they're honestly going to be able to score on this Texas A&M defense. So, Texas A&M minus 17 and the money line. Next is Murray State at Cincinnati. Now, I said I have a rule of 4 touchdowns. It's very hard to decide, but this one wasn't. I'm taking Cincinnati minus 35.5 and clearly the money line. The reasoning for this is that Cincinnati is just way more talented, but they're looking for style points. This is one of the very few teams that is going to just try to score and score and score no matter how much time is left on the clock, because they're trying to get their way into the playoffs somehow, and the only way for them to prove with the crappy schedules that they have, yeah, it's better than the past years, but it's still Murray State, and they're going to try to want to blow them out by 100 points just to show the playoff committee that they're willing and good enough to hopefully maybe possibly get in. But I don't ever see it happening, but like I said, they're going to try to blow out Murray State. Next is Ball State at Penn State. This one was kind of up and down for me for a minute, but I'm still going to take Penn State at minus 22 and clearly the money line. Ball State, one of the better teams in the MAC last year. I don't know if it's because of COVID, but I think they have quite amount of players returning. However, with this game being in Happy Valley, I almost said South Bend, in Happy Valley, with the win over Wisconsin, yeah, you could say it was a fluky win or whatever, but they still went into Madison and won in one of the better hostile environments in the entire country. I think that game motivates them to juice them probably for a while, especially with the big game against Auburn, which I think is next week, right? So Penn State minus 22 and obviously the money line. Next is Mercer at Bama. Ooh, scary game. I'm taking Mercer to cover 53.5 points. Like I said, I know it's Bama and it's Mercer. Mercer won't score, and Bama will probably win by 60. But the spread's 53.5. Like, the odds, it's just so hard. I mean, I don't see Bama winning like 35-0, but I see them winning like 52-7. Like, Mercer just scoring a touchdown with a minute left on the clock against Bama's like 4th string. Clearly, I'm taking Bama in the money line because it's Bama against Mercer. But 53.5, it's too hard for me to go up against. Yeah, it's just something I just can't do. It's too many points. Next is the big game of the week, Iowa versus Iowa State. This game wasn't hard for me to decide. I know Iowa State's very good, and everyone's going to probably pick them to win this year. Iowa offense looked okay. Iowa State obviously struggled in the first game because like they do every year. Iowa's defense looked good, but who knows if Indiana is actually good on offense. However, the reasoning for me choosing this game so quickly is the Michigan factor. Michigan can't beat Ohio State. Iowa State can't beat Iowa. And until proven otherwise, I'm taking Iowa obviously they're going to cover and the money line. But no matter what, this game's going to come down to probably the last 2 minutes like it has for the past like 5 years. It's going to be a 2-point game or whatever. So I think no matter what, you should take Iowa in the points, especially if it gets up to like 5. But I don't see it happening. But until proven otherwise, I'm taking Iowa over Iowa State. Next is South Carolina State at Clemson. I'm taking South Carolina State to score. Clemson, I know they played against Georgia's defense, but to me, Clemson's offense is gonna play way better. But 49 points, like I said, it's just way too much. I'm taking Clemson on the money line. Obviously, it'd be stupid to bet against them right now. I don't know if South Carolina State's gonna score, but I just don't see Clemson winning by more than 50. Like, they have to win this game by 50. I could see like the Bama game. I could see like 51-7, 52-7. But that's 45 points. Like 50 to win by 50 points. I mean, I know the spread's 49, so if it's 49, you get your money back, whatever. But if it's 50 points, like, it's just way too many points, no matter who it is. So South Carolina State in the points, Clemson obviously in the money line. All right. Basically the late night. There are a lot of like 10 o'clock games this week. It's so weird. Shout out to Pac-12. Next is West Carolina at Oklahoma. I'm taking West Carolina to cover. I know Oklahoma's going to probably play way better this week. Probably way, way better. Because they should have honestly lost last week. But like I said in the previous few ones, 49.5 points. Way too many points. But I'm taking Oklahoma to win this game. Now, my upset of the week in the top 25. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm taking Arkansas to win, covering 7 points. I know Texas looked very good. However, Louisiana Monroe shouldn't have been as hyped up as they were. I know they beat Iowa State in the first game the year before, and Texas struggles, blah, 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 blah. But I think any one of us could coach Texas and have beaten Louisiana Monroe. There's just too much talent comparison. However, for this game, I think the talent's pretty close. And with Texas being on the road, it's Sark's first. I mean, he's had previous coaching jobs, obviously, but this first at Texas on the road, young quarterback. I don't know. More of a gut feeling on this one. Sam Pittman's going to be ready, and I think Arkansas is going to win by like a field goal. And this is a gut feeling pick, and obviously there's a few upsets in the top 25 every week, and this one's going to be mine. Next is Eastern Michigan at Wisconsin. I'm taking Wisconsin to cover. I know it's a lot of points, 26, and Wisconsin doesn't usually score a lot. However, I think they're going to be pissed off, and they need a game. Like, I know Eastern's probably going to be pretty good, but it's a MAC team, so pretty good in the MAC is nothing compared to anybody like Wisconsin in the Big Ten. And I just think Wisconsin's going to be pissed off. They're going to run it down their throats, and they're just going to probably win this game by like 5-6 touchdowns. And obviously they're going to cover, or obviously pick them on the money line. App State at Miami. This spread is, I know App State looked good and Miami lost, but they lost to Alabama. Like, you can't take it off of that. Now, teams usually that get blown out the next game don't look as hot either. Or they lose a heartbreaker, they don't look as hot the next week either. However, I think because it was losing to Bama, I don't think there's much of a factor into that. And I'm taking Miami and minus 8.5. I know Chase Bryce looked better, but it's still the talent comparison. It's in Miami. It's very hard to go up against this group of 5 against Power 5 and only be an 8.5. Unless you're Vandy, clearly. Miami's too talented. They should be able to win this game by a couple touchdowns. Now, I'm not saying they're going to blow out App State, but they should be able to win by like 14. Next is Austin. I can never pronounce them. Is it Austin, PA? Austin, PA? Austin, PA? Austin, I would say PA. Austin, PA at Ole Miss. This is one of my dumber ones, but I'm really, really high on Ole Miss this year. I don't think Lane Kiffin's going to be back, but the talent gap is way too far, and it's at Ole Miss. And minus 34.5, I don't think it's high enough. I think this game should have been like minus 42, and then I would have probably taken Ostapié to cover. But Ole Miss has scored a lot of points. Now it depends on if their defense shows up. Obviously, I'm taking them in the money line. But 34.5, yes, like I said, it's a lot of points, but I just think Ole Miss is just that much better. They should be able to smoke them by more than. I'm going to say they're going to win by 42. That's my prediction. Next is Georgia State at North Carolina. I know North Carolina looked god-awful, but like the Wisconsin thing, I think they're going to be pissed off, and they're playing against a way, way, way weaker opponent. Now, I'm not high on Virginia Tech, but Georgia State is way weaker than Virginia Tech. And I think they can cover 26 points at home. I think Sam Howell's going to bounce back and look more like the Sam Howell that everybody's predicted him to be. And obviously, I'm taking him in the money line. But yeah, I think they're going to win this game by 4, 5, 6 touchdowns. Yeah. Next is Utah at BYU. I think I just thought of this game too hard because of BYU, but BYU played close against Arizona, so I'm thinking Arizona's not going to be very good this year. I know this game's at BYU, tough place to play. However, it's a rivalry. Utah, Whittingham's coached there plenty of times. It should be just fine. And I'm kind of high in Utah this year. I think they're going to cover and win this game by more than 7 points. Now, I don't think they're going to blow them out like Miami against App State. Like, I could see this being a 10-point win. I just kind of went with the factor of me liking Utah way more than BYU this year. I think it's a for sure pick if it's like -3, but -7 is kind of high. I think this game will be way closer, but I think they're gonna win by 10 points. We'll just stay with that. -7 Utah money line. Boom. Talking too much. Damn it. Next is Stanford at USC. These are the late games. I know this is probably one of my dumber picks, but I just don't trust Clay Helton. But Stanford looks god awful. I'm gonna take Stanford to cover 17. I know it's at USC, but I just don't trust Clay Helton enough to cover 17 points against a Power 5 team. I mean, they looked like they were gonna struggle against San Jose State for a while, and then they kind of took over later on. But it's still San Jose State. Yeah, San Jose State was good, but it's still USC talent, or what used to be a USC talent versus a group of 5. However, I think USC is going to win this game. But I trust David Shaw enough still, somehow. I'm still trusting him enough to cover 17 points on the road. Come on, David. You can do it. I believe in you. Another one of my worst picks of the week, but still doing it. Final game is UNLV at Arizona State. I'm taking UNLV to cover 34 points. I know UNLV is a pretty bad group of 5 team. However, Arizona State, I just don't think has enough offensive power to win any game by more than 5 touchdowns. No matter who they play. I know Arizona State's decent to good. The whole Herm situation, I still don't even know what's going on. Did he even coach last week? I don't even know. But I still think Arizona State's just not, like I said, offensively good enough to cover 5 touchdowns, no matter who it's against. And I can see them winning by 4 touchdowns, but that extra touchdown or 6 points, whatever, I can see UNLV scoring late, making it like a 31-3 game or something like that, you know. But I'm taking Arizona State to cover, or to win. So those are my picks. Sorry if it got a little boring. I kind of lost track of my notes. So I kind of just winged that one. I'll be more prepared last week. I don't know what I did with my notes, but so thanks if you're still here for sticking around. I usually win most of these, so I'm not doing this. I mean, I am doing this for fun, but I am doing this because I'm usually pretty I think it's good enough for like winning, helping people out, winning a few bucks every weekend. One more thing before I go, I'm gonna do a parlay of the week at the end of every picks video. It's just kind of something fun. It's not guaranteed, however, it is favored teams, and it's games that they should probably win. I mean, some of them are tougher, but I'll pick three games, and the odds are usually pretty good, like in the pluses. So here's my 3-game parlay of the week. I'm taking Miami over App State. These are money lines, by the way. These are all money lines, so straight up winner or who wins the game. I'm taking Miami over App State, Michigan over Washington, and South Carolina over, I believe, is East Carolina this week. These are all games that all these teams should win. Now, the Michigan-Washington one was the trickier one because it's Michigan. It's Michigan. They seem to choke big games at nighttime, no matter where they play now. But the odds are plus 218. So South Carolina against East Carolina could be a rough one too, but I think South Carolina can pull that one off. Miami should be able to pull off App State, and I think Michigan's honestly going to blow out Washington this week. I know Washington looked bad. They're going to be more motivated and stuff, but I just think that they lost to an FCS team, and no matter who you play the next week, it's going to be a rough rebound. And to go to the big house at nighttime, prime time, that's just going to be tough for them to rebound. Yeah, they might play better, but I still think Michigan will probably win that game by 2-3 touchdowns. Miami, don't let me down. South Carolina, don't let me down. But that's my parlay of the week. So sorry if I bored you, but thanks for sticking around. And let's make a few bucks this week. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment down below, share, subscribe, and let me know what you think of my picks. Am I just an idiot, or are we actually doing good? So for now, hopefully Kansas covers tonight. And I would have taken Coastal, like I said, if the odds were better. But the only reason I would have taken Kansas is because of the high odds. So thank you for watching the video. And like I said before, please like, comment down below, share, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Thank you.